Oh, that man scared me. He scared the heck out of me, like walking all slow and shit. Where y'all at? YouTube be doing me dirty. They don't be sending out no notifications or nothing. I am hungry. God dog. My we gonna have to go to Starbucks when he get back. I can't see your comments if somebody is here because wait, hold on. Who is that? Hey Sheila. Happy holidays. I'm just sitting here waiting on my husband. We at Kaiser. He had an appointment, and I didn't want to go in to I didn't want to go into his appointment with him because I'm getting over the cooties. I'm over it, and I was cleared. I don't have COVID. I don't have the flu. I don't have strep. So the doctor said that whatever virus this is that everybody is catching right now has a very serious mucus component, making people feel like they have a sinus infection, but it's not. It's just mucus. So I had a whole lot of mucus, and I thought that it was a sinus infection. And mucus will make you feel bad. Like you will be out here thinking that you're really sick and that you're not feeling well, but what it is post-nasal drip. That stuff is dripping down the back of your throat into your stomach. And for some people like myself who already have a very sensitive stomach, will make you feel sick. So I was out here feeling sick. Okay? I'm feeling much better. And it made me feel better knowing that I didn't really have anything. You know what I mean? Like I don't have the flu. I don't have COVID. I don't have strep. So that made me feel good. But my throat was sore, and mucus will make you go through all of these different changes. So the doctor was like, use Flonase or, like a nasal spray to, help the mucus. Because I was throwing everything at this. Apple cider vinegar. I was doing my apple cider vinegar shots, which is, I'm going to tell y'all the recipe. A little bit of lemon juice. No, don't do the lemon juice. Just do the apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. Organic honey. Not that cheap honey that come in the little bear. You want organic honey. Real honey. Apple cider vinegar. Organic honey. A little bit of cayenne pepper. And a little warm water. And you only want the water warm so that because organic honey is really thick. And so you want a little bit of warm water so you can stir it up and drink it. Drink that. Make a shot, make enough to put in a shot glass and just drink that all during the day. Especially if you have a cough, because that organic honey is really good for your cough and it soothes the throat. So I was doing that. I was eating these little these little organic ginger slices that I get from Albertsons. It's like dry, dehydrated ginger with like this little sugar stuff on it. It's real good. And it still has the spiciness of real ginger, and it's sweet because they add some little sugar to it or something. So I was eating those. I mean, doing all the things. Orange juice, apple juice, fresh oranges, um, all kind of, I was throwing everything that I knew. Getting in the shower, letting the shower steam, letting the bathroom like steam up. I mean, putting a towel down at the door so the steam couldn't escape. Closing the shutters in the bathroom, bathroom windows, shutters closed, everything. Trying to really, get the bathroom to steam up really well. I was doing that, and resting, like legit resting, like not getting out the bed unless I had to go to the bathroom, or unless I had to. This poor woman, she can't figure out how to get out of this parking structure because she just driving around. This is the second time I done seen her. I don't know if she can't figure out how to go down, but this is the second time I done seen her make a round, and I know it's her because she got a white headscarf on her head. And it looks like she keeps going up and coming back around instead of going. Parking structures can be confusing. It will have your ass going around in circles if you're not really paying attention to where you're going. And now I done got spooked because I'm on the 7th floor of this parking structure. And we just had an earthquake not too long ago. I'm like legit scared now. I have been so spooked since that earthquake. Like, earthquakes don't normally rattle my nerves, but for some reason, this one shook me to my core. And I have been in a very, very bad earthquake. This is a bad angle. This angle makes me look fat. And I'm not fat. I've been in a very, very bad earthquake. I was in a 7.2 earthquake, the Loma Prieta earthquake, when my kids were very young. Like, I was in my 20s, I think. Yeah, I had to be. I was in my 20s. I was in the Loma Prieta earthquake. It was a magnitude 7.2 earthquake. One of the largest earthquakes not the largest, because of course that big San Francisco earthquake was the largest earthquake that we've had in the Bay Area. But in my generation, it was the largest earthquake that we've had. And this 3-point something earthquake shook me. And I think it shook me because my husband was on the computer. He was in the other room when it happened. I was in the bed, asleep. I wasn't asleep. I was turning over. And then the bed started shaking. And I was like, eyes got super big. And I just like laid there. And then I heard like the windows shaking, the shutters, because we have shutters on our windows. Those things were clanking, and I heard the TV sound like the TV shifted because our TV is not mounted. The TV is like sitting on this desk. And how it's just so many sounds around you. The house, and earthquakes make this, have a roaring kind of sound. And I'm like, okay, Jesus, is this it? And it stopped. It seemed like it went on forever, but it didn't. But in your mind, it's going on forever. And I was so frozen in fear. This was the first time that my fight or flight did not kick in, and I was literally frozen in fear. Like I could not move. I was just laying in the bed on my back, and I couldn't move. And my husband opened the door, and he was like, "Babe, you okay?" And then I kind of, my body relaxed, and I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for giving me a husband," because he kind of broke that trance I was in. Because he came in there. Gizmo came in, and he came straight to me like, "You okay, mommy?" And I was like, "Oh, babe, I was so scared." He was like, I know, everything is okay." And he went and was like looking out the window, and he was like, "Hold on, I'm just go out here and look." And he was like, "Everything is fine, nothing was broken." But it shook. It was a nice jolt, because we actually were not that far from the epicenter. The epicenter of that earthquake was not that far from where we live. So we got a nice jolt. I mean, the house creaked. And I've just been uneasy. Like my spirit has been uneasy since that earthquake. And I'm not normally a scary person. Yeah, I am. I'm scary. I've always been scary. Like scared of the dark, scared of just random stuff. So this kind of spooked me. And now we went to the movies. We went to see Avatar, and we were parked in a parking structure. I was nervous about that. When we went to the movies, I didn't tell my husband, but I was like, scoping out the exits and stuff. I was like, okay, we can get out right there. Okay, that's, in my mind, not to him. And my husband, he only told me this one time. He is the same way that I am. He said when he goes to, when we go shopping and we take the grandkids, he's like, "You stay with the kids. You walk with the kids. And I'm always going to walk behind you guys. Because I'm always watching, I have to, watch the surroundings. I'm watching the kids." Like one time we went to Dave and Buster's, and we had 3 of the grandkids. We had 2 of the boys, and they, the boys were, one of them was younger. I think he was like 5 or 6 years old. And then we had my other grandson, who was probably 8 or 9. And then we had Amani, who was probably either 11 or 12 then. And after we, got everybody home safe, he was like, "It's different when we have all the kids with us. I'm not really having fun because I'm making sure that everybody is safe." And I really didn't know that he took on that role until, he told me. Like my husband, a lot of y'all don't know, he is ex-military and he is ex-police. He used to be an Oakland police officer. So, when we go places, he's in protection mode for us as the family. And he is, looking at exits, and we have talked about things like, if we're ever out and something happens, this is what I want you to do. We've had these conversations because that's how he is, and he loves us. You know, he loves us. And I love that. I'm trying to see the chat. Oh, thank you, Liz. California. You know, I gotta rep my city. My state. My city was Oakland until we moved. But we are in Oakland right now. So I gotta rep my state. It's crazy thinking that I've been in California all my life. Last night we watched that Will Smith movie, Emancipation. If you have not seen that, please go watch it. Please go watch it. Because it's very important for Black people. It's very important for all people to see, you know, real Black history. And me and my husband were talking last night. Me and my husband, when it comes to family, our family situation is very, very similar. Okay? When I see movies like Emancipation, I'm like, that really is not that far from where I am as a 58-year-old woman. My family, just like Will Smith's character in this movie, he was trying to make it to Baton Rouge because that's where the free Black people were. Baton Rouge is where my family is from. My ancestors lived in Baton Rouge. My mother that adopted me was born in 1917. Okay? She was not a slave, but she was the child of a sharecropper. Her father lived on a slave plantation. He wasn't a slave, but he lived and worked on that plantation. He was a sharecropper. They were sharecroppers. My mother talked about working the fields, picking cotton, picking watermelons, picking potatoes, planting, picking, selling. Freedom was in Baton Rouge. Freedom was in parts of Louisiana. That's why a lot of your relatives live in the areas that they live in. How did we get to California? They migrated to California because of the work. My family came to California because of the railroad. The railroad was being built and developed here in California, and they needed people to work out here. So my father came out here to California to get a job. My mother stayed in Louisiana because he didn't want her to come out here until he knew for sure he was going to get a job and get someplace to stay. And after he did that, he sent for her. Then she came out here and she got a job and they got a place to stay. And my mother said, oh, here come my husband. My mother said that they got a car, and you know, then they just stayed out here. After they got work, they stayed out here. So I'm gonna come back because I gotta listen to what he's saying. I'm gonna come back, y'all, probably a little bit later. He go, babe, the peanut gallery.
It's done.
It's done?
It's done.
Okay, y'all, I'll be back probably a little bit later, okay? Because I'm gonna, since we leaving, I'm gonna show some sights of Oakland. I love you guys. Thank you for staying with me. Wow. You see my, oh, I got him. While I was waiting on him. So I'll be back later. Bye! Say bye, babe.
Bye, babe.